All right, well, welcome back into Small Business Saturday, a segment where we here at WTOL 11 highlight the small businesses and business owners in the community, in our community. Today, Justin Henry with Life IV Medical Weight Loss is here to tell us all about his business. So first off, thank you for being here.
Of course.
Let's start with, tell us a little bit about your business. We want to give the viewers just a little bit of background.
Yeah, of course. So Life IV Weight Loss, we actually are in Adrian, Michigan, but we service Ohio and Michigan. We are a medical weight loss practice, basically. And we kind of started as a medical spa a few years ago, and now we've transitioned completely to a medical weight loss clinic.
So what motivated you guys to start your business? You and your partner, Dr. Stefan,
Yep.
You and your partner.
Yeah, so definitely what motivated us is when we were initially doing a med spa, we were kind of noticing that a lot of patients wanted medical weight loss treatment, but it's hard to kind of locate that around here, mainly because it's very popular and there's not a lot of doctors that provide that service. So a lot of patients and clients were asking us, is this something that you can do? And we're like, well, yeah, Dr. Sherfan actually does a clinic of medical weight loss himself. So we're like, we can definitely do that. And so we kind of moved into that space, and now we've seen really great success with our community.
And for those right now who are listening, like, hey, this sounds interesting, I want to get involved. How does this medical weight loss differ from diet plans or programs?
Yeah, so medical weight loss doesn't necessarily mean you have to be like very obese or not. We actually are different, as it doesn't matter if you're super obese or if you're a normal weight. We will work with anyone. And if you're trying to lose weight but you don't want the fad diets or locked into a specific diet, which you typically see online and things like that, we don't care what you eat, which usually when you come to our clinic, we're like, it doesn't matter what you eat, just eat whatever you want. It truly doesn't. We want to help you build that relationship with food, but then also use medically supervised medications and things like that if that's something you want to be able to achieve your weight loss goals, if that makes sense.
That's interesting, because I think a lot of people, when they think of a diet, they're like, okay, what can I restrict? And you're kind of saying, hey, you're still okay to eat some of these foods and things like that. So you guys have helped a total of people lose a total of 21,000 pounds,
Yeah.
right? That's a huge number there.
Yeah.
What do you think has been a main factor in that success and achievement?
I think, well, our clients, first of all, they're very motivated. And I think when they come to our clinic and we're telling them, it doesn't matter what you eat, that's like a breath of fresh air, because they're so used to, like, you have to eat these shakes or you have to do this or that. It doesn't matter, because you're not going to diet forever. So you have to be able to build that healthy relationship and eat that right amount of food, and, with the medications as a tool. And that's one thing that a lot of patients, when they come to us, we're like, medications are a tool, not a magic pill to make you, skinny or whatever you want.
Right. And now, speaking of that, the steps that you guys are using, you use 5 pillars, correct?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first one is motivation. And a lot of times our providers, when they're talking, with you, are like, what is your reason? What is your it factor? Why do you want to lose weight? And if they're kind of like wavering on that, our providers are like, maybe this isn't a good time for you. And that is where a lot of patients are like, whoa, you would say that? Yeah, of course, because we want to make sure you're in this to actually, to do it, not just because you're interested. Calorie restriction, we mainly focus on restricting your calories versus restricting your types of food. Those are the two of the biggest pillars. Otherwise, calorie tracking, using medications, and then ultimately surgical options. If it's necessary, we can refer for that if needed.
Working with some of these clients that you've helped lose this weight, what has it been like to hear their story and to see their progress that they've made along that way?
It's been really inspiring, and actually it's kind of crazy, because you think, oh, they make these big physical changes and they look so much different, but that's actually not what a lot of the patients are so proud about. They're actually more proud about, I can go to my grandkids' baseball games, or I can go do this, I can fit into these pair of jeans that I've wanted to, and they're like, I just feel so much better. And when they've been obese for a very long time, they're like, I didn't realize how much different I will feel when I lose that weight. And that actually is the most inspiring part, actually.
Yeah, and is that more towards the mental aspect of it? How are they feeling mentally when, they're feeling better physically as well?
Huge, immensely. And also when they're repairing that relationship with food, we actually refer to local therapists, because a lot of times they're, boredom eating or they're stress eating, and understanding that relationship, especially as a kid, we're told you got to finish your plate, and we hear that a lot. So working on that relationship and being comfortable with eating what you want, and food is food. You can enjoy it, and that is huge, and I think that's a huge benefit for them.
I'm sure a lot of people like the idea of enjoying food. I myself, I have to admit, I like the idea of enjoying food.
Same.
So, but there are some people, when you think about it, that when they're thinking about weight loss medications, there are some people who are definitely on the fence. They're like, oh, I don't know how I would try. What would you say to someone who is on the fence about that?
We get that a lot, actually, more often than you would think. It's not that weight loss medications are not safe. They can be safe. It's when you can get any medication not through a good channel, or you're not following with a provider who is specialized in it, it can be kind of dangerous. Also, you don't need to use medication. So sometimes patients will come to us and we're like, let's not start with the medication. And they're like, oh, that's an option? Of course it is. You don't always have to use a medication. We can try alternatives, but if you've been trying for years and you struggle with hunger and food noise, our providers can talk about a medication if that's what you want to do. Ultimately, you as the patient are in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and so if people are interested in this, there are some people who may have been on the fence and now they're hearing you say, you don't have to start off with the medication right away. So, if people are interested, how do they get connected? How do they get involved with you guys?
Yeah, so LifeIVWeightLoss.com, it has tons of information. We actually just rolled out our AI support agent, so you can ask all kinds of questions about medical weight loss and medications that we prescribe, and it can kind of help you walk through that. You can also call us. All of our staff are phenomenal about just educating you, and that's one of the biggest things that I push as well, is we're not trying to sell you, we're not trying to get you in the door. We want you to make sure this is an informed decision that you want to make, that we work with your entire team. So we work with your family doctors and your specialists to make sure this is the right options for you. So give us a call, visit our website to learn more, and kind of go from there.
All right, and just one last question here before we wrap this up here. But for people who want to get involved, do they have to fit a certain criteria?
No, we don't like to do that, because criteria can really narrow it down, where we can work with anyone. Even if we have a lot of patients, believe it or not, that are normal in their BMI, or they have normal weights, where they just want to maintain their weight and they use us as accountability, or they may want just maintenance medications, we can help them with that. So no, we don't want to restrict anyone.
Okay, well, thank you. You have the information there, you guys. If you want to check it out, go to their website. Thank you for joining us, Justin. But if you guys are watching, make sure don't go anywhere. More local news and weather is on the way in just a few minutes. We'll be right back.